Coming up today on American Outdoors, we take you to the Lombardy region of northern Italy and introduce you to F.A.I.R Firearms, part of the Italian gun consortium. F.A.I.R produces some of the finest high-end sporting and hunting shotguns in the world, and today we'll take you on a factory tour. All that and more today on American Outdoors. Welcome to today's show. If you are looking for some of the finest shotgun for sporting, for hunting, look no further than F.A.I.R. I'm here with Luca, and Luca, I tell you what, very impressed with this. Watching your shooters, they're very good. That's easy because they have a fine weapon to use that with. Is it possible that we can go back to your factory after a little bit of shooting for a factory tour?
Yes, of course. You can see the machinery, the assembly, and the rest, of course.
Welcome to today's show. No matter if you're looking for a sporting gun or a hunting gun and you want the best in quality, you might want to start where tradition meets technology. That's here at F.A.I.R. I'm here with Luca, and Luca, I tell you what, we are all very impressed with your factory, your guns. These are guns that we're going to have around for years and years, passed down to our children and grandchildren, and they're going to be great for no matter for sporting or for hunting. Tell us a little bit about your company.
Yes, thank you, Bill. My company is F.A.I.R. is born for my father in the 71. Its production is over and under and side by side. Over and under we made normally in hunting and the sporting version, okay. And the first point of our side over and under, sorry, is make under 4 types of frame: 12, 16, 20, and 28 frame. We made also the 410, but we made on 28 frame. Now we are production. The new model is Iside. The name is a double rifle. Iside Safari is made in side by side. It's completely new side by side. It's a new block of frame. It's one block. It's created by one block. It's made with a traditional system in side by side, but using the new technology CNC control machinery.
I tell you, you do have some beautiful new CNC machinery down there, state of the art, which is really going to make the guns even better. Is that correct?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. And I notice you have a number of CNC machines, all performing specific responsibilities, so you can really streamline the entire operation.
Yes, of course. We made all inside with a frame, monoblock, iron forend, and it's very important. We using also prevalently the machinery of horizontal machinery, CNC machinery, and now we are the new machinery made the side-by-side, the new side-by-side Iside, with a 5-axe for working. Wow. It's approximately, it's the first machinery, it's made of course in Japan, it's the first machinery sell in Europe.
That is amazing. And that specific machine really is where all the design begins. You know, we can go back to the CAD drawings, the computer-aided design drawings, input those into your 5X, and we can crank out some really nice parts.
Of course. The first is a design, is created design, the prototype, we tested the prototype, and after we make on the machinery. In this case, we are just tested the prototype. In this case, the line of the gun is completely finished. With new machinery, it's possible also creating the new types of line. It depends we make on the design in the CAD/CAM system.
So that's where all the beauty comes together. Now I notice in addition to these beautiful CNC machines, another great asset that you have are your employees. They've been around years and years, decades and decades, and they can really help the product development and make sure everything is refined. Is that correct?
Yes, it's correct, absolutely. It's very important. The employer is the first step for one factory. The machinery, of course, is very important, but the machinery you buy. The employer is very important because it's working together with you and with your philosophy and with your tradition, with same of our logo, tradition and technology.
Well, is it possible that Steve and I could go down and do a factory tour of this beautiful facility that you have?
Of course. It's possible to see the machinery, it's possible to see also the assembly and the tunnel for the proof the guns after the National House proof.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, and don't go away, because when Steve and I come back, we're going to give you a tour of a state-of-the-art facility, one of the most beautiful facilities that you've seen. Don't go away. Welcome back. Well, here we are continuing our tour at F.A.I.R in Italy. And Steve, I tell you what, out of all the factory tours that you and I have been on over the years, this has to be the finest facility that I've ever seen. Very high-tech, very modern. And right here in my hand, I have a forged piece. And it's interesting, this is going to ensure strength, but what you have in your hand is going to ensure precision. Is that correct?
That's right. It's all state-of-the-art equipment like the CNC machine behind me, which turned out this part. This machine runs 24 hours a day, Bill.
That's amazing.
Yeah, tightest tolerances, so you get the greatest quality in your product.
You know, and that really ensures, as you mentioned, the end user can have confidence in his gun. He's going to have accuracy as well because there's repeatability. That repeatability only comes if you have the precision that you just mentioned. And this machine here, as I understand, is the only one like it in Europe.
That's true, Bill. That's right. The only one, 24 hours a day, turning out this high-quality part.
And this is, as F.A.I.R likes to say, where technology meets tradition. So we have guns that have been made for years and years, decades and decades, guns that we're really going to be able to hand down to our children and grandchildren. Let me ask you a question, Steve. Would you call these guns heirloom quality?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'd have to agree with you, Steve, and this is just one part of the operation. They have many CNC machines here in the factory that have specific jobs, just like this one does. You want to go take a look at those?
Let's go take a look.
Well, Steve, I tell you what, I was really impressed with that brand new CNC machine that turns a piece of forged metal into a work of art. And what's that you have right here, there in your hand?
Bill, this is a hammer that came from that piece of bar stock that you're holding in your hand. Behind us we have a filament cutter. Uses this fine filament to cut these little pieces.
So intricate as well, and yet I notice they have them lined up where it's cutting multiples at a time.
That's right. Multiples, looks like they can get about a dozen out of there at one time.
You know, back in the day, I can't imagine the work that went into making one of these by hand, you know?
Yeah, it's amazing how they sped up the process using the state-of-the-art equipment.
And I think that's the important part, the state-of-the-art. Sped up the process, but we have even more precision than they did back in the day when they made them by hand. So we still have a handmade gun with high precision. Now, Steve, with these great CNC machines, you know, it seems like it removes any need for quality control, but I guess that's not sure. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, you got to have the human element here. We've got Ricardo. He's using this micrometer here to check the parts and make sure they meet the specifications that they've got over here on this sheet.
Now, you as an engineer, how critical is that to an operation?
It's everything, Bill. Come on.
So we're really double checking our work. The computer's checking its own work, and we're checking the computer's work, and it has to result in a great product.
Yeah, great product. And we got Ricardo here to make sure that that's happening.
The human element meets technology, and he checks the parts as they come through to make sure that they're exactly what we need to finish our product. Steve, do you remember that beautiful action we saw created on the CNC machines? Well, it's being married to some parts right here with Luciana.
That's right. Luciana here is putting in the all-important safety.
And you know, she's doing it in such a precision manner because it just slides right in. It's not an afterthought. It was all designed together.
Yeah, it just fits together ever so perfectly.
You know, and the nice part about it is Luciana's been here many years. She knows what she's doing. That has to be a great asset to the company.
Yeah, most of the employees have worked here for the lifetime, Bill.
You know, and I think that really contributes to the overall success of the company and the individual products. And the gun that I buy that I want to put, on my shoulder out on the range, I know because of Luciana and others like her, it's going to be a beautiful product.
Yeah, it's their pride in workmanship. This is in their blood. They make this their life here.
It really comes through, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Well, Steve, it looks like the assembly continues. What's going on here?
Yeah, we've got Fortunato here. He's marrying the parts that we just saw where the safety was inserted in the action to the barrel of the gun.
Again, a precision. And it looks like Fortunato been here a while. Looks like he knows exactly what he's doing. And I'm glad we got somebody like this, so when I get my shotgun, I know it's going to work.
That's right, Bill.
Now, Steve, as I understand, Luca here has been going to school for 5 years as a gunsmith. And, as much as you and I know about guns, I think it's fair to say that Luca might know as much or more than we do. He really knows his craft. Now, what is he doing here?
Well, I think he knows a lot more, Bill. He's been doing this since he's been 14. He's 19 now, 5 years. And you can see how serious they are about their gun-making business here in Italy because they make a career of this. He's going to do this until he's 67 years old, I believe is the retirement age here.
Wow. Now, what is Luca up to?
Well, he's marrying the ejector to the barrel right now, and now he's making final adjustments. As you'll see, he'll sand it until he's satisfied with the perfect action.
So he's not just assembling, he's assembling until he feels it's actually correct.
That's correct, Bill. Absolutely. And you can see this is very, very, very precise.
Well, Steve, that barrel that Marco was working on, it's been blued, a little more polishing has gone on, and now what is Luca here doing?
Well, he just mounted the barrel in there so they can do the polishing. There it goes.
And this is just one of many steps that they have to make sure that it's completed.
That's right, Bill.
Well, Steve, I tell you what, we've seen some really incredible phases of assembly, but this one's really amazing. What's going on?
Yeah, Lorenzo is marrying the stock to the action here, and it's amazing. Feel the,
That's amazing.
Yeah, one solid piece. Amazing.
Our gun is nearing completion. Up next, we test fire a gun before it goes to the proof house. More from our factory tour of F.A.I.R when we return. So, Steve, we just had a test firing here down in the tunnel. Now, what does that actually accomplish?
Well, a couple things, Bill. Lorenzo here, he shot and he fired twice. So there's an adjustment screw here that allows him to calibrate the over and under. Okay, so if, let's say he shot the first was here and the first was here, by adjusting that screw, they can bring this pattern together. Now, once he gets that adjusted, then there's a piece that goes on the end that they weld on so that the consumer can't get in there and mess it up.
Okay.
So
once it comes from Lorenzo, it's great, and we don't want anybody messing with it.
You don't want to mess with a Lorenzo. We saw how he shot. Very nice.
Very good shooting there, Lorenzo. And the nice thing about it is the gun works properly. We know that. Now it's calibrated, and really, we're almost near the finished stages.
That's right, Bill.
Well, Steve, I tell you what, this has been a fabulous and fun tour.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun today, but Luca, in all seriousness, fantastic facility, wonderful product, and you have the best of employees here working for you.
Thank you.
You really do, and I tell you what, we got really excited when we got to this part where all the assembly takes place. The guns become quite beautiful, and we've got one question for you. Can we get out on the range and shoot some of these guns?
Yes, of course.
Thanks for joining us today on American Outdoors. If you'd like to learn more about adding one of these fine Italian firearms that you saw on today's show to your collection, simply log onto the website to see all that they manufacture. And we'll see you here next week on American Outdoors. If your shooting demands that you have reliability, accuracy, and old-world craftsmanship in your shotgun, you'll want to go where tradition meets technology at F.A.I.R. Using the latest and state-of-the-art technology, F.A.I.R manufactures some of the highest quality shotguns in the world, used by hunters and competitive shooters as well. The beauty of a F.A.I.R shotgun is more than skin deep. You can rest assured that your F.A.I.R shotgun will give you performance, reliability, and accuracy you can count on year after year. F.A.I.R, where tradition meets technology.